Dream Connectors. This is a project of a team in the Upstate Diversity Leaders Initiative from the spring of 2012. The issue that they identified was disengagement among middle school kids, that some kids at middle school levels are really not inspired, they're disengaged, they don't make a connection between what they're doing in the classroom and their potential futures. So the group decided, why don't we take these kids on campuses of some of our leading organizations like BMW, like Michelin, like Greenville Hospital System, and show them the career possibilities that are available to them and to connect those career possibilities to what they're learning in middle school today. Please enjoy the video from the Dream Connectors.
We're one of the biggest healthcare delivery systems in the country, actually, and we've been blessed with a wonderful place to live and work, and I don't see that changing. Healthcare is changing so that bigger and bigger systems are coalescing and coming together, so I think we're well positioned for growth in the future. What that means for the Upstate and just for these kind of programs is that we will have an ongoing need to have great employees. And there are many, many, many things you can be and work in a hospital, which is something that oftentimes kids don't understand. They might think you can only be a doctor or a nurse. In fact, we have accountants and business people, we have engineers, we have policemen, we have people that work in the mailroom, we have very highly skilled administrative assistants, we have just about everything you can imagine, a wonderful food service and executive chefs, and really anything that you can think of, we have a need for it. Traditionally, skilled workers in every industry can be hard to find. And so one of the truisms I think that we've all discovered is committing to training and growing and helping programs that create a workforce that you can tap into locally is the best strategy.
Well, at Michelin, we've just announced in the last couple of weeks a significant expansion in the state of South Carolina. Part of that will be down in Lexington County. Another large part of that will be in Anderson County. And we will be hiring about 500 people to staff both of those expansions. And clearly the expansion in Anderson can get bigger than that over time. But it's important for these students to understand the connection between these types of announcements and their opportunities 10 years from now. And so these are our future employees. It's much better for Michelin to hire local people, local graduates of our education system, than to have to go outside. Ultimately, Michelin will find qualified workers, but we would much rather find them here in Greenville County. The largest percentage of jobs are going to be production workers, people working in a high-tech, very automated production environment. We also need to have people that can work in maintenance to basically install and maintain very complicated equipment. We also have need for engineers to design tires, to design equipment. And we have needs for people to manage people, which is a skill in and of itself. So there are lots of different needs, and there are many paths that people can take to get to those positions, many of which do not require a four-year college degree. So we want students to understand that, first of all, they're going to need to have a high school diploma. That's the ticket of entry. But beyond that, there are certainly routes through technical school programs and other routes to get into companies like Michelin, and we want them to understand that. But the only question is, can we find them right here where our plants are located? And our preference always is to be able to find local people. And that's part of the reason why we designed this program.
And that's what life should be all about, following your dreams. One of the issues that we have, particularly in manufacturing, is if you look at statistics and career classes in South Carolina, is that kids decide what they want to do with the career classes in 8th grade before they go into high school. And very few kids right now choose manufacturing as a career. Yet that's where a lot of the jobs are. If you look at Michelin, if you look at BMW, there's a tremendous number of jobs. And through this project, I think we can really showcase manufacturing and what it is today. And it's not the dirty old manufacturing jobs that you might picture, but a really high-tech, very exciting workplace.
The key is getting the teachers excited about connecting what they're teaching in the classroom to real-world applications. So if the teacher is applying what they're teaching, then the students are going to be excited about what they're learning. Students need to see what's going on outside of the classroom that will bring life to what's in the textbook.
The high school graduation rate has to be something that we address, and I think a program such as this can absolutely provide the motivation for our youth as they enter into high school to finish high school with a high school diploma. Right now in Greenville County, about 25% of the children or youth who enter ninth grade don't graduate on time in the county. And while that 75% graduation rate sounds good, it's really alarming when you consider that above and beyond the high school graduation diploma, there are additional skills that are required to really compete for some of the entry-level jobs. Middle school years are typically the years where youth disconnect. It's the years where parents tend to give them more freedom, more independence. It's the years when their peers become more influential. And it's also the years, if you think from a youth development standpoint, that the brain explodes. So it's the time in their life where they're really like a sponge. We know from a United Way standpoint that there are some communities in Greenville County that have upwards of 50% of their young people who don't graduate from high school. And that's got to be alarming for future workforce.
Kids need to really understand that school is something to be taken seriously, and that's really one of the things that we want to hit. If you do not have your high school degree, at the end of the day, your opportunities are going to be very, very limited, and you're not going to have a shot at these high-tech, high-paying jobs that we're talking about.
I like to get in contact with a nurse because it's possible that I might end up being that.
All I know about manufacturing is it's like creating stuff, like anything like mechanical or electronic.
I don't know anything about manufacturing.
Dream Connectors is all about recognizing that in Greenville County, we're really fortunate that there's a tremendous amount of growth going on. Many companies, GE, BMW, Michelin, other corporations and organizations like the Greenville Hospital System continue to grow and provide tremendous opportunities for the residents and citizens of this region. There are certain segments in our community where there are young people that don't make the connection at all between what they're doing in school today, particularly in middle school, and the opportunities that exist in our community today.
Healthcare has a place for everybody if someone has an interest. And even for those that don't have an interest, if they have an open mind and can come see all the things that one can do there, I think they will be very surprised. Our hope is to let 12 and 13-year-olds a chance to get in the door and get excited about what their future might be.
I see this as an opportunity to really retain the talent that the upstate already possesses. I mean, Greenville has a great school system, and I believe that it can prepare students. And if we can just kind of provide that gleam in their eye that they can stay here and really have a career and a life, I think that would just be excellent for the upstate.
We came up with the idea to look at middle school kids, particularly in underprivileged communities, and help them see what opportunities are out there in the community for careers. We have 2 pilot schools, Lakeview Middle School and Hughes Academy, and our plan is to showcase the opportunities at the companies that we have with the classroom learning that happens so that folks can make choices early on in their careers and hopefully develop an interest in some of the jobs that the community provides.
There's a disconnect between the curriculum and the career clusters. There is just not time. We need to find that time, find the ability to help with the teachers make the connections so that we're creating curriculum projects, interdisciplinary projects, business interdisciplinary projects. There needs to be a focus there.
Well, probably the short-term benefit is the students are going to build some self-esteem and have some identity and have an opportunity to experience things they normally wouldn't.
This program, I think, will open avenues to students who are in 7th grade, who are at a critical age to make decisions about their life and their future for their high school career. It will help them know that they can go to an organization or company and be able to grow even within that company, that entry-level jobs are exactly a good place to go. It's not just college or 2-year technical schools. They can go out into the workforce, meet those survival needs, and then work through and move upward within those companies and make different career choices.
They need to develop a connection between what they're doing at school and what is actually happening in manufacturing.
Programs like the Dream Connectors that we are trying to develop here with Hughes and Lakeview is a wonderful opportunity for students to connect what they learn in the classroom to what they see in the business world. They're able to connect that. They're going to ask the question, how much money do you make? What type of education did you have to perform this actual position? And hearing it from a person that's in that position is more beneficial than hearing it from their teachers a lot of times.
I think it's a wonderful opportunity for education and business to come together so that our kids can see what's out there and available for them.
And I think this opportunity with all of these companies and the efforts that you're making will change that direction. I think that's what's going to be different about this project that I haven't seen before.
I think all our students have potential. I think they have dreams and hopes and aspirations. But they're very limited on what they've seen, what they know is out there. So I think this opportunity is going to provide them some insight into the many different career opportunities within an organization.
And our hope in being successful is that we can expand this to the many other middle schools in Greenville County and enlist other companies in the county to run programs like this.
I want to give my children the opportunities that I may not have now, that I know that my mom couldn't get because she never went to college until after she had me. So I want to do everything I can in my power to give my kids the life that I never had.
I always wanted to be a professional golfer.
I'm looking to go into a music career.
I see myself maybe with a family and pursuing my career as a photographer.
Either in the medical field or business management, because I like both of them. But right now I'm into anatomy, so.